Staying in France, where the Yellow Vest movement is not backing down. Protesters were out across the country for a 9th straight Saturday, and with increased numbers compared to last weekend. In Paris, the day started peacefully for thousands of demonstrators, but then they reached the Arc de Triomphe. That's when police fired water cannons and tear gas to push protesters away from the Champs-Élysées. But there were tens of thousands of demonstrators marching outside of Paris as well. In this report, Alexander Akkad shows us the scenes in 10 towns across France.
Bourges, right in the centre of France, became the focus of the Yellow Vest protests this Saturday. Around 6,000 took to the streets trying to show themselves as a united movement of peaceful protest. The historic town centre was cordoned off, but despite this, hundreds of Yellow Vests tried to push their way through. At least 4 were injured in clashes with the security forces. Material damage was limited, as most shop owners had closed their shutters. On the southeast coast, there were tense demonstrations in Toulon, where a police commander is being investigated for striking 2 Yellow Vest protesters a week earlier. A standoff in front of the police station briefly degenerated later in the afternoon, before returning to relative calm. In BORDEAUX, where the Yellow Vests from the Lorraine region gathered, many hundreds took to the streets, and again there was a tense atmosphere.
Now we're fed up, and if they don't want to listen to us, we're going to make them listen.
At least 1 police officer was seriously injured after clashes broke out. Toulouse was again the scene of violence this Saturday, with some acts of vandalism and bonfires in the city centre. The demo that had passed without incident until midday was much bigger than the previous week, with at least 5,000 participants. In Bordeaux, which has become a stronghold of the movement, the same scenes as every Saturday. Here, 6,000 Yellow Vests gathered and violence broke out, with stones thrown at the police. In Lille, Caen and Marseille and many other French cities, there were more people out in the streets than a week earlier. The Yellow Vests also chose some symbolic places to protest. The castle of Chantilly and its racecourse, the symbol of the rich, was invaded, forcing the cancellation of the event. And things also got heated in Le Touquet, a beachside town south of Calais, where the president's wife owns a house.
Serbia is also seeing major anti-government protests continue to gain steam. Despite freezing winter temperatures, thousands have rallied in Belgrade for the past 6 weekends. Opposition supporters are accusing President Aleksandar Vučić of cracking down on free speech and censoring the media. Cries of dictator and thief are mainstays of the marches. The protests swelled in December after Vučić said he would not bow to opposition demands, even if there were 5 million people in the streets.